I don't mind women recognizing that they get certain advantages for being hot. I don't mind that. What I have a problem with is when they don't realize that's why they're getting those advantages. I remember when I used to work at the strip club, this one girl came to me and was like, hey, John has a boat and all of the girls, we all go on the boat on the weekends. You should come out with us. And I was like, John doesn't want me to come on his fucking boat. Are you done? Like, do you really? It was like, no, he's so nice. I'm like, of course he's nice to you. He's trying to you. Like, do you really not? What?
No, they don't.
Dude, my favorite was, so my girlfriend was a bartender. And so but when we first met, she didn't. She lived in Houston, I lived in Vegas. And she would call me from her work while she's bartending, put the phone on FaceTime and just sit there her whole shift and just FaceTime with me while I was doing stuff. And we would get into debates about stuff. And she'd be like, well, all the guys at the bar agree with me, Michael. All the guys, let me get the hot 21-year-old with big fake boobs and blue eyes is sitting there having a debate with her boyfriend. And all the guys at the bar agree with you, babe. It must be because, you know what? The Nobel Prize, it's yours. Yep. Clearly, you figured out something. And it's like crazy when she does this whole thing. And I try to explain to her, because my girlfriend's smart. I try to explain to her, like, you're smart, but a lot of people agreed with the other day. She goes, I went to Fit Club LV and everyone was so nice to me. Get the fuck out of here.
Wow.
Everyone was nice to you. All these dudes with hyper levels of testosterone were nice to you. Stop it. I can't believe this, babe. That's crazy. They were nice to you. You should come with me. Everyone there's nice. They're not going to be nice to me. They're not going to be nice to me. Anyway, so funny thing is, like, from her standpoint, she's smart. But the problem is, I think she still, at this point, hasn't come to the realization how many times she wasn't told no because of how physically attractive she was. And she like kind of grasped it, but she doesn't understand. It was like, even when she was right, she wasn't being told she was right because she was right. She was being told she was right because she was hot. And she still doesn't grasp this. And so that goes back to what you were saying before.
Have we convinced one woman in America that we don't give a shit about your degree
or your education? Isn't that crazy?
You haven't convinced. There's not one woman that's been convinced because yes, why should a guy date you? Well, I have a master's degree. It's like, oh my God, the perfect mental state. They want you to like them for their master's degree.
Yes.
And you could tell them, no, it's because you got a nice landing strip that you sent me one time, and I want to plow that. No, it's because they have whatever, their degree, their office, and you have fun trying to change that. I'm done banging my head against the table, and I'm going to go have a cigar instead.
She'll go to like some store, like some weed place. They gave me free weed. Shut the fuck up. They gave you free weed, honey. I can't believe it. It's a miracle. He goes, yeah, we went to this bar. They're so nice to me that they gave you free drinks. No way. They gave you free drinks. I can't believe it.
Did I tell you at the strip club, the gal who was giving me a lap dance said she really liked me.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
It's genuine.
It's love.
There must have been
love.
There must have been no ulterior motive at all. The concept, I thought it was funny, white male as a brand. Can you go over that? What does that mean?
Well, that was a one-off video.
Yeah.
Where, God, I'm trying to remember the punchline to it. It's like giving it back to the people who are all about identity politics, but like white guy as a brand. I think there was a military recruitment video that came out and was all white guys are like, oh shit, we really are going to war. They got the white guys out now. So I'm thinking like white guy approved. So it ain't complete woke trash, or white guy approved because the bridge won't collapse. But I'd have to watch the video again. But the whole idea, like deep down inside, if you want your car not to blow up, white guy engineering, that kind of thing. So I'm sure it was something spoofy like that.
The concept, I thought was interesting was the other one where you talk about doing it all, right? And you had people saying, you mentioned Rollo Tomassi as an example where he has a live stream and he also writes books. Mm-hmm. He has a blog. He's also writing on his blog. He's constantly creating content for people, and he has a wife and a daughter who recently got married, and he rescues animals, and he has multiple homes. Like, he does it all. And you said you had some clients that were like, should I go get the master's degree or should I go to the gym? I get these two also. I was like, Michael, should I work on my social circle or should I go to the gym? And I'm like, both. What do I do every day?
Look, I've said it before. No one gets rich off a 40-hour work week.
Yeah.
You do not have success with a 40-hour work. That's just cruising speed. And it's people who are looking for the easy way out. Like, well, if I just do this one thing, and like I went to school and worked full time, It was a nightmare, but I got it done. The real core problem there is that they're lazy. It's not that they have a choice. So I'll get these people like, well, should I do this? Should I do that? Should I do this? And I'm like, how about you get a job and move out of your house? That'd be your mom's house. How about that for step one? Because you could say, should I major in engineering or chemical engineering or civil engineering? It's like, oh yeah, but you work 20 hours a week at Wendy's and still live at home and you're addicted to pot because your email you sent was absolute pot garbage. Yeah.
My favorite is I don't want to go to the gym because I'm going to get too big. That one? Or,
I've never heard that one.
Oh, I've
Really?
heard that one. The other one is, hey, Mike, I'm afraid to post this on my social media because I'm afraid of like what people will think about me. I'm like, bitch, you have no followers. Like no one cares. No one cares. The idea that the arrogance to believe that anyone gives a shit what you post is so crazy to me, dude. You're no one. You don't have big fake boobs. No one cares what you post. It's just crazy to me. Like the level of arrogance and narcissism and neuroticism you would believe and I constantly get this from these clients. And it's like, it's one thing, you with 6 bikini models. I get it. Totally. You work you're an attorney. Don't post that. I totally understand. But it's like something where he's like he's on a red carpet with girls in gowns and they're like collecting teddy bears for a toy drive. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I should post it. Like the is wrong with you, dude? It's so crazy. Again, you live in a country where a man f***ed a porn star while his wife was pregnant and we elected him president and you're worried about posting a meme. What is wrong with you, dude?
We've had this conversation before where you said, what was it? Something like 16% of people actually finish any kind of courses.
Oh, bro, it's like 16% of people when they buy a course. That's what Ryan Stubin told me.
I'll tell you, all they want when they ask you for the question is they want the treatment, say, I did something, so I feel good. I'll one up you. I don't know if you've ever had this. So I have that minimalism course. I charge with taxes, it's around $500 plus or minus a little bit depending on your sales tax. This is a course to teach you how to get rid of your spending addiction, and I charge you $500. The reason I charge $500 not only because I'm greedy, but I want you to take it fucking seriously.
Yes.
I had a guy. All right, so you have 45 days. You sign up. You have 45 days to complete the class. I get an email from a guy. He signed up. He paid for it. Guess what? Didn't take the class. Want to know if I could open up the class for him again? I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I have my course is 6 months long, and I constantly have to do that. It's just like the dude didn't even start. Like
didn't even open it up.
It's just madness, bro. Like seeing that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just like this week in my course and all my calls, I have been reiterating to the guys, you must do the core protocol. I have 114 modules that they are supposed to all do, and these guys are like still watching some video in the free course, and I'm like, no, bro, you paid for the modules. You will do the modules. And I'm like, when you're eating, when you're playing video games, I don't care if you're on the treadmill, when you're driving, you're going to listen to my shit at double speed and take notes if you need to, but you got to get through this course. And they're always looking for a shortcut. And I'm like, my course is the shortcut. Your course is the shortcut. Yep. You don't need a shortcut in the shortcut. If you're going to buy a course, take the course. Last question I want to ask you, because we talked about, men taking themselves out of the market and trying to understand the dating market and trying to understand the concept of, why that is, like why things are very difficult, how much effort, how many left swipes, and how much time and resources and money men have to expend in order to get a date. And one of the things you did talk about as far on the positive side is the concept of finding friends and how important that is. That's something that's been very, very instrumental for me. Finding friends who bring me more opportunity, finding friends who I can count on, finding friends who I can get advice from. Can you talk about that concept? Leave on a positive note here.
Well, life is not just a girlsa.
Yeah.
There's, and God almighty, my life would be a fraction of what it was if I didn't have my friends. And if you're not going to have a family, you're not going to have a wife, you're not going to have kids, all you got is your friends, because your family and maybe your family will be around for a while, but inevitably they're going to die. Your parents are going to pass away. This assumes optimistically you even like your family or are talking to them. And so the only thing that really matters in this life, as far as I've been concerned, is the other interaction with other human beings and conversation with them. And so it's having these relationships with your friends who hang out with you voluntarily. They like you for you. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to cajole them. You don't have to woo them with flowers. And the best thing, like my buddy Vince at Masculine Kinks, he'll come up and I could just get a text. And he's like, get your dick out of that guy's asshole. It's just like, that's my buddy. Yeah, then we exchange. That's great.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, because if you're not going to have a family, your friends become your family. And it absolutely is. And then there's other things like they might know a place to work, you have community, you have safety in numbers in case there's a problem, and all these other added benefits. But spiritually, philosophically, emotionally, psychologically, yeah, you need your friends. And if any other reason. I understand some people are more introverts and they don't like really to go
Yeah.
outside, but you should make some efforts to go out. Like, you've made friends on the internet if you've been out. Well, go do a road trip and meet up with them. Go to the nerd convention, like Comic-Cons or whatever. Hang out with your buddies. Go take the time to do it, because the day will come, they'll be dead or you'll be dead, and that opportunity is long gone.
Yeah, it's so important. Like I said before, I believe the apex of human existence is men accomplishing goals together. When it comes to this, your protection comes from your network, but also scalable amounts of wealth comes from your network, and having a funnel where women that you would be attracted to
Right.
that could be possible life partners, that can also come through a network. So I cannot, above all else, fitness probably number one, but after that, having a strong network, knowing how to build a network, knowing how to be a good leader, a good communicator, and knowing how to do things for people without asking for anything in return, which is a great way to grow your network. I think you can't have much more importance than that. So that's awesome.